Backyard Farmer Jay here. I've been outside working our homestead here, and lots of things were going on around here, and I noticed that this faucet here is leaking. Now this is a courtesy faucet for my neighbor over here. Out in rural, one of the lifestyle values we have is we watch out for each other. So if my well goes down, my neighbor can connect a hose of this and backfeed into my system and keep me going until the well man gets over here and fixes my well. And I can do the same thing for him. But out here walking my property, working along, you can see I'm a little bit dusty from pruning and everything like that. I noticed that I have a chronic leak here, and trying to turn this off does no good whatsoever. That's because the seat's worn out in it. So we're going to do a basic repair very quickly, just replacing this. First thing we're going to need to do is going to shut off the water and come back to you. Before we do that, I want to mention to you that faucets are made out of, as you can see, we got some good pressure coming out of that. Faucets are actually made out of, these kind of faucets are made out of brass. And brass is actually an alloy between copper and zinc. As you can see, it's kind of a bright color. Over time, the patina on it changes to this. This is essentially the same exact faucet, just age progressed, so to speak, okay? And so the reason brass is used, it's malleable, it's a soft material that's able to be milled and shaped like this efficiently. But what's happened here is the seat in this is worn out, the actual washer that's at the bottom that closes off the water flow. Now I'm not going to throw this faucet away. I'm just going to simply kind of doing a fast repair today, putting this new one on. But when I unscrew this, I will simply repair it and have it in store for the next repair that comes along, and there will be others in a homestead like this. Okay, stand by. I'm going to shut off the water and I'll be right back with you. All right, we're back. As you can see, we've relieved the water pressure in the faucet here, and actually when I opened this up, quite a bit of water, let's take a look there, you can see came out of this simply because the whole outside water pressure, the whole system was pressurized, and relieving this probably took maybe 2 minutes of blowing off all of the water out of it to get a place we could work on it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and change this out, and I'm going to show you a couple things very quickly. So the tools of choice that I'm going to use is a pipe wrench like this. This has got serrated teeth that bite into the soft metal of the pipe down below, and we're going to counter grip against it with another wrench. This is an adjustable wrench. This happens to be crescent wrench, which is what's commonly known. It's like Kleenex for facial tissue. This is just what's called an adjustable wrench. I've adjusted it. Now let's see here, we get close to that. And what we're going to do is we're going to oppose each of these and break this loose and spin it off, okay? So once we can see that this is going to spin off, it actually comes off pretty easily here once I break that initial bite there. Another plier that you may have around here, this is commonly known as a water pump plier as well. It's another form of adjustable. It's got a slip joint, allows you to slide in and grip different sizes, etc. So both of these tools will work. The point is, though, you want to get a solid bite on this, not round off the corners or damage this, whether you're taking it off and you're going to reuse this faucet or when I put in the new one. Okay, now let's go ahead and take this off, and what you're going to see here, of course, there's some water in it still, so we've got water right at the top there. I'm going to let that lower down, and you can see the pipe thread tape that was on here from before. Now, this doesn't matter if it remains wet when we repair it here, simply because there isn't a cement that's being put in here. There's not a glue, a pipe dope. I'm using Teflon pipe tape in this particular case, and you can see the residues from before. It held just fine. This faucet's approximately, I'd say 5 or 6 years old, and has gone through the winters and everything fine after we relieve the pressure for the winter, so we don't crack pipes and that sort of thing. All right, now, you and I see thread on pipe, whether it's the male part or the female receptacle area here. But water, if it had eyes, it sees a continuous leak. It's a place for water just to work its way back and just make its way away from pressure and leak to the outside. So if you simply put this back on there, you're just going to have a slow leak. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and clean this off, and see, you can see some of the other pipe thread that's, Teflon tape that was there. So we're going to get all that off that we can, and I'm just going to take a little rag here and kind of grab around this so I don't have to have my hands on it and get cut up a little bit. So I'm not going to do that. And as you can see, we're just getting that to be like this. I'm going to keep putting that water out of there until the water's setting down below, and I can see it coming back up in the pipe. It's continuing to try to kind of weep here a little bit. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take Teflon tape, and also commonly known as plumber's tape or thread tape. And all I'm going to do is go around and trap that piece under there. Now this is wet, as I said, a little bit in a field repair. When you're doing it new, of course, it's not wet like this. But notice what I'm doing is I'm keeping tension on this, and I'm overlapping and not putting it over the end. And there we go. See there, it's gone all around that thread. Now what we're going to do is just take this brand new faucet. We're going to put it on just carefully and just rotate it until you feel the thread bite. There it is right there. Be careful not to cross thread, to tip it, to rock it back and forth. You're just getting it to go on nice and smooth, and that tape actually lubricates this, so I'm getting a fair amount of turns on here just by hand pressure. Now again, as we put it back the opposite way, what we're going to do then is work against. You put opposing pipes. I mean, I wonder, why do I have to have two wrenches? Well, I'm isolating the pressure, the rotational pressure on this pipe up at the top here. If I just started wrenching this by itself, both on loosening it or tightening it up, it would break the joint that's down in the ground where I've got it way down in the ditch. Now I've got a major repair. So I'm isolating the rotational force by doing this. I'm going to put this on here and simply start working against each other. Okay, actually I've got, that's kind of an error that I did right there. There we go. Not kind of an error, it is an error. What I need to do is work against each other, and I had it turned for loosening. There we go. Do you see I'm pushing against each other here? And as this comes around, the idea is not to try to twist everything off. It's to make sure it's just good and tight. And that's pretty good right there, okay? So I'm going to take that down, shut it down. I'll be right back in a moment. We'll turn on the water. I'm going to see if my repair worked. Okay, we're back. As you can see, the faucet, we've turned back on the water here. Something I just want to mention really quickly. One of the rules of thumb when you're doing plumbing also is not to over-tighten. Under-tightening will cause an issue and create a leak, but over-tightening, torquing, stressing the components themselves, whether they're plastic or metal, like a galvanized pipe like this with brass fittings, over-tweaking it, etc., can lead to leaks as well and just stress that you don't need to put in here. You'll develop that skill as you go along. Now, let's just see whether this works. We have no leak whatsoever. There's no water coming out, nothing here. And just to show you that this video is not fake, here at dirtfarmerj.com, we show you the real thing as it is. So here we go. There she blows. And the next time my neighbor needs some water, he's got some, or when I need water coming back from him, we've got it as well. If you like this video today, make sure you like it on our YouTube channel. And better yet, subscribe to our channel, pass it on to your friends, and if there's some other topic you'd like to see us cover here at dirtfarmerj.com, write in and let us know as well. Until the next time, I'm Dirt Farmer J.